Good morning. It is Sunday. Thanks so much for checking in with us here at Atlanta News First Plus. Cloudy out there over Midtown right now as we take a peek outside. Get ready for a much different forecast today compared to the little taste of summer we had yesterday. I'm Megan Packer. Thanks for checking in with us here to get an update on your news and your weather. Yeah, how about yesterday? That was like the middle of a summer day, wasn't it? We'll talk to First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi in just a moment about the record we hit yesterday and what to expect over the next few days, including your Halloween forecast. So let's talk about what is making news this morning. Lots going on today. Of course, Georgia's still front and center for the campaigns, a little more than a week to go until Election Day. So we'll get to that in just a moment. But right now, we were on top of some breaking news from overnight in DeKalb County. This is some video from the scene. Our photographer was here at the scene of a shooting, and we don't know many details at this point. We know somebody was shot. This was not a fatal shooting. This was Lilac Lane near Camella Drive, and investigators were out there for some time. We are reaching out to DeKalb County Police to get some more information from them. But again, a shooting investigation in DeKalb overnight that was not deadly, but we know at least one person was shot. In another part of DeKalb County, we're talking about Clarkston. There are people who are dealing with no power and no water 3 weeks after their condo complex went up in flames. A lot of people lost their homes in that fire, but there are still some people living there, and they have to rely on generators to charge their phones and use the stove, and they are just getting frustrated now 3 weeks later. The condo complex there has not given a timeline of when the power could be back on. It has been nearly 2 months since the deadly school shooting at Appalachia High School in Barrow County that killed 2 students and 2 teachers. And yesterday, country singer Jelly Roll stopped by Jug Tavern Park in Winder to perform a private concert for survivors of that school shooting. This was a private concert just for the Appalachia High School community before he went on to perform last night in Atlanta. And, you know, he's just the latest big name to stop by that part of the community and pay his respects to the survivors of that shooting and just honor them and, just try to bring them a little joy. So people out there certainly appreciated the concert. They say, of course, they're still going through a very difficult time. It will take some time to heal and recover from what they've been through. But, this just gives them a little glimmer of hope and something to smile about. It looks like it was a fun show. Don't forget, a couple weeks ago, The Rock was there at Appalachia High School's football game, so he's been showing them some love too. So we know so many people continue to send support to the Appalachia High School community. That shooting was early September when 2 students and 2 teachers were killed and 9 others were injured that day. Election Day is getting closer and closer. All eyes on Georgia and other swing states. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff is in Metro Atlanta today to campaign for the Democratic ticket. Of course, his wife, Vice President Kamala Harris, and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz. Republican Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance was in Atlanta yesterday. Former President Donald Trump will be in Atlanta tomorrow. So a very busy next couple of days as nobody is slowing down as we get closer to Election Day, which is a week from Tuesday. A reminder, early voting is underway right now in Georgia. You've got until Friday to vote early, and then your last chance is on Election Day, November 5th. There is a public celebration of life today planned for a beloved basketball coach who suddenly lost his life. We are talking about the former head coach at Kennesaw State University for their basketball program, Amir Abdur-Rahim. He died suddenly from complications during a surgical procedure recently. He was just 43 years old. Abdur-Rahim was the head coach at KSU from 2019 to 2023. He helped to lead them, earn them a spot in the NCAA tournament. He also held different roles over the years at UGA and Georgia Tech over the course of his career. Most recently, he was the head coach at the University of South Florida. Abdur-Rahim was married with 3 children. He was one of 13 children himself, and one of his brothers was an NBA All-Star. So there is a public celebration of life planned for today at the KSU Convocation Center. Doors open at 4 o'clock this afternoon. The memorial starts at 5. Tickets are not needed for that, and parking is free. We know a lot of people thinking of him and his family today after his sudden death. All right, let's take a peek outside right now. Again, it's pretty cloudy in Midtown as we bring in First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi talking about quite a difference, Courtney, for this second half of the weekend compared to yesterday.
Right, totally. We have cloudy skies, as you can see there, and that's the sign of what we call a wedge building in. High pressure to our northeast that usually brings in cooler conditions, and that will also kind of trap in some moisture that's left closer to the surface and bring us those cloudy conditions. Sometimes it can feel a little bit misty out there, especially in the morning hours. So something to note if you are, getting ready to start your day. While it might not look quite so pretty out there right now, at least it'll feel a lot better, especially after a very, very warm day yesterday. In fact, yesterday was downright hot, especially for this time of year. 87 degrees was a high yesterday, so that was record-breaking. The record 85, so closer to 90 degrees at the end of October. Unbelievable. Thankfully, we will be cooler this week, but it will still be on the warm side when compared to average, which is around 71. So taking a look through the day today, we will continue to watch for showers that are already developing mainly north of the city. It looks like in parts of Gwinnett County all the way into Southern Hall County, parts of Cherokee County, North Fulton County, getting in on some of this rain. It looks like parts of Clark County starting to get a few light showers, all that drifting off to the east-southeast. Most of us should stay dry today. A quick passing shower can't be ruled out. That rain chance at about 20%. I don't necessarily see Atlanta getting any measurable rainfall through the day today, but we will have the chance for, again, a few on and off showers. By noon, I think we'll stay mostly dry, so maybe a 10% chance for rain, a spotty shower at best at noon, and that'll be the case through most of the afternoon hours. Come this evening, I do think that we will kind of introduce a slightly higher chance for rain, sitting at about 20%, but again, nonetheless, most of us will stay dry. North of the city, you have the best chance for rain today. So north of Atlanta, you'll have the best chance to pick up maybe a trace or some measurable rainfall. The mountains carry the best chance for any kind of measurable rainfall today because they've had on and off showers throughout much of the morning. Sitting in the 60s right now, just past 10 o'clock here, but this afternoon, temperatures will warm into the mid to upper 70s. The wedge of cooler air behind our cold front will really impact areas north and east of Atlanta. So notice from LJ to Helen to Gainesville, highs only in the 60s. Again, Atlanta off to the south, mid to upper 70s, maybe even over 80 degrees in Thomaston today. Athens will top out near 70 degrees. Overall, a much more comfortable day, especially with that cloud cover. It'll also be a little bit on the breezy side through the afternoon and evening. So here's a look what we're tracking. Cooler Sunday. We'll have a few showers today, mainly in the mountains, but a few showers possible, especially north of the city. So again, the mountains the best chance, but can't rule out a few showers north of Atlanta. And we will warm back up midweek. Here's a look at your First Alert 7-day forecast because that does, of course, include Halloween. Low to mid 70s today and tomorrow. Again, that cooler air mass that's kind of settling in won't stick around very long. We'll go back into the upper 70s Tuesday, closer to 80 degrees on Wednesday. Halloween, we do have a forecast high of 80, so for your trick-or-treating forecast, expect mid-70s for your trick-or-treating hour. We'll stay mostly dry through the week. I do think there's the potential for maybe a quick passing shower Thursday, Friday. We'll have a second front try to move in. It doesn't look like it's going to cool us down clearly because we'll still be closer to 80 degrees for the second half of the week and into the weekend, but we'll watch for maybe a stray shower. But again, rain chance stays at pretty much 10% or less in the second half of the week. Today carries the best chance for rain at about 20%. And again, the afternoon mostly dry, even into the evening. So if you do have any afternoon or evening plans, don't necessarily have to worry about the rain. And honestly, it's all just quick passing showers anyway. So don't go canceling any plans if you start to feel some raindrops over your head. Not going to stick around very long. Definitely not going to be a day-ruining situation in terms of rainfall. So that's your 7-day forecast. Slightly cooler the next few days, but we're closer to 80 degrees mid to late week. Enjoy the day today. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for spending some time with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I hope you make it a wonderful Sunday, and we'll catch you here next time.